Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, April 1st, 2015, the first day of Q2 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to Catex TV. The French prosecutor leading an investigation into the crash of the Germanwings Airbus in the Alps said this morning that he's not aware of any video footage from on board the plane. A number of news sources, including a Paris Match and the German Daily Bild, are saying that cell phone video showing the harrowing final seconds on board the plane, in fact, does exist. The two publications described the supposed video, but fortunately did not post it on their websites. And they said that they did watch the video. They said, quote, "One can hear cries of 'my God' in several languages. Metallic banging can also be heard more than 3 times, perhaps the pilot trying to open the cockpit door with a heavy object. Toward the end, a heavy shake, stronger than the others. The screaming intensifies, then complete silence. It's a very disturbing scene," said the editor-in-chief of Bild. The French gendarmerie said that any reports of the existence of any cell phone footage are completely erroneous, and said that although cell phones have been collected at the site, they have not yet been exploited, meaning they haven't looked at their memory cards. Significant softening of the property catastrophe reinsurance premium rates continue to be seen on the April 1st renewals in Asia and in the United States. This is according to Willis Re. Willis is saying that loss-free Japanese quake excess covers are down about 15%. Japanese wind and flood excess are down about 7.5% to 10%, and property risks in Japan renewed down 5 to 10%. On Korean renewals, loss-free risk accounts were down 7.5% to 15%, while those hit by losses were still off 5 to 7.5%. In the United States, there was little sign of a slowdown of momentum on the nationwide property reinsurance covers renewing on April 1st. Here in the U.S., Cat excess of loss programs saw drops of 10 to 15%. Commenting on the renewal tide, Willis Re Chairman Peter Hearn said there are no signs the tide of falling rates and widening terms and conditions will be reversed. Private equity house Calera Capital, based in San Francisco, is said to take a majority stake in independent broker house RFIB, Robert Fleming International Brokers, based in London, in a deal valued at about $78 million U.S. It's going to be placing the value of the business at 10 times its adjusted forward earnings before taxes, depreciation, and amortization. This is a pretty good multiple. San Francisco-based Calera has about $2.8 billion of assets under management. It's understood that the RFIB CEO Jonathan Turnbull, as well as financial director Nick Moss and the rest of RFIB's senior management staff are set to remain at the broker after completion of the deal. Insurance insiders reporting that Transatlantic Re is dropping its plans to establish $1 billion hedge fund reinsurer as the long wait for another vehicle to follow Watford Re off the production line continues. Trans Re is believed to have spent about 12 months working on the project with New York private equity fund Providence. It's not clear why the initiative was abandoned, but it's thought that because of AM Best's increasingly aggressive stance towards startups, it's something that Transatlantic is not interested in enduring. 2 startups that will pursue non-traditional investment strategy are already well advanced. We've talked about ACE's internal reinsurance vehicle with BlackRock called ABR Re. That's in the middle of a $1.5 billion fundraise, and Richard Brindle from Lancashire, as well as other pedigree, is more than halfway through his own $2 billion raise for his hedge fund reinsurer, Fidelis. An amazing event happened in Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation. President Jonathan Goodluck was defeated in an election. The new winner, the new president of Nigeria, who will take over on May 29th, is Muhammadu Buhari. Mr. Goodluck actually has peacefully relinquished power. He called Mr. Buhari to congratulate him on his victory, and he said that the blood of no Nigerian is worth the ongoing peaceful tradition of the country. Unfortunately, Nigeria does not exactly have a peaceful tradition of power transfer. But if this stands, and Mr. Goodluck in fact does stand down after the popular vote shows him losing, and there is no constitutional crisis, this is going to be very, very good news indeed for a major oil exporter. Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway aims to eliminate its older tank cars from crude oil service and take additional steps to improve rail safety in North Dakota. BNSF is owned by Berkshire Hathaway. Starting on today, Burlington Northern will require trains hauling crude oil from North Dakota to reduce their speeds in communities with more than 100,000 residents. They're also going to remove all of the older rail cars and phase in the newer CPC 1232 models, which are stronger and less likely to be pierced in the event of a derailment. North Dakota's oil production is greater than existing pipeline capacity, so it relies very heavily on tanker cars. By 2018, 3 new pipelines called Sandpiper, Upland, and Dakota Access expect to be finished. They'll provide about 900,000 barrels a day in new capacity for piping out the Bakken crude oil. Provocative ads showing photographs of Adolf Hitler with a former Arab leader are beginning to appear on Philadelphia transit buses. A federal judge last month ordered the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transit Authority to accept the ads. The pro-Israel American Freedom Defense Initiative's ads to counter these began appearing today, carrying the tagline, Jew hatred. Actually, excuse me, the pro-Israel American Freedom Defense Initiative is running the ads. They're running the ads. And they have the picture of Adolf Hitler with Haji Aman al-Husseini, who's a Palestinian leader from the 1940s and 50s, showing a photograph of Mr. al-Husseini with Adolf Hitler. The Jewish organization is running the ad saying, Jew hatred. It's in the Quran. Mayor Michael Nutter of Philadelphia attended a rally against the ads last night. Religious leaders have encouraged unity and peaceful protest. Mr. al-Husseini had met with Hitler during World War II and worked with the Gestapo as well as Joseph Goebbels in trying to advance the cause of the Palestinians in response to a British initiative to move Jews into the Middle East. Following the 1948 Israeli war, in which the State of Israel was established, Mr. al-Husseini retired to Cairo, where for a number of years he led the Palestinian government in exile. Until then, President Nasser dissolved it. Mr. al-Husseini died in obscurity in Beirut in 1974. Unbelievable. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.